It is 7:45. I gotta turn my mic on.
There you go.
I heard myself. I'm like, this other mic's on. It's 7:45 here, 7:46 now on this Friday morning wake-up call. Now time for Friday with the Fuzz. I'll toss over to Mr. Michael Greene.
Thanks, Derek. In the studio with us today is Elgin's Chief of Police, Jeff Swoboda. Thank you for joining us, Jeff.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yes, nice Memorial Day. I don't know, what's the weather looking like? It's going to be a nice weekend?
Until
50-50.
Sunday.
50-50 is what I hear.
Yeah.
50
Today
degrees?
good, tomorrow good.
50-50 just in
Sunday
general.
not so much,
Nice.
Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Might be dancing between some raindrops on Monday.
Okay.
Dancing.
And, yeah. 50% chance of rain on Sunday, too, I think.
Yes.
Lots of stuff going on. I know we'll get to that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend, so hopefully the weather holds off for all the events that are going to be
festivities,
going on. Yeah.
Busy week for you. Had another reported shots fired incident, and I guess a 15-year-old in this incident was shot.
Yes.
Non-life threatening, right? Taken to Advocate Sherman and released, according to reports, on Thursday. So, can you maybe talk about that? It was Wednesday night, evening, about 9:30.
Yeah, about 9:30. Officers, we got a call. Actually, officers nearby heard some shots fired. Went over, started the investigation, and were able to locate some casings, evidence that some type of, obviously somebody fired a weapon there, and they were able to locate a victim a little while later, and was shot. It was the foot and leg area, and was taken to the hospital. And again, we classified them generally, life-threatening, non-life-threatening. I didn't know that.
And they're been shot. I would imagine they all hurt.
Hurt? Yes. Yes.
So yeah.
So yeah, but as far as like how long they're,
Right.
they're in the hospital, or sometimes people survive a while and then pass away, so that type of thing. This one person was shot, and we're investigating right now. Our gang unit's actually following up on it, and a lot of people are saying, "Boy, it seems like a lot going on here in the past month or so," and it has been. It's been busy. It's been very busy, and people, what's going on? What's the reasons for it? And I say until we make an arrest, generally we can't say. We can have an idea based on the person. And again, I don't want to talk about any specific cases we're dealing with right now, but we may have a person that we know is involved in a gang lifestyle, or obviously multiple people here in Elgin are involved in that, or drug trade, and we will get various shootings that happen, shots fired, or if people are hit or unfortunately killed. And then we start the investigation. And once we figure out who has done it, we can then say, okay, these were related, these weren't. It was stemming from this, or it was stemming from that. But can't do that until we make an arrest. And so we're continuing to work on our gang crimes unit is trying to piece through these. But I can tell you one of the and it actually happens routinely. But someone who was shot, and the detectives will go up to the hospital and ask, hey, who did it, what are the numbers, basically, get out of here, I don't want to talk to you guys, not telling you anything, One said, don't give me your business card because I'm going to rip it up and throw it away, I don't want I'll handle it myself. So it becomes difficult to investigate, but the unit does a great job trying to still work through those, but gang crimes are very difficult to investigate, and is it the weather? Is it that don't blame things on the weather? But people are out and about more often in the springtime. But even more so, I was just I worked with the gang unit a little bit earlier in the week, and one of the things that they were talking a lot about is just social media is really pushing a lot of things. Everybody used to be, if I didn't like you, I would maybe tell my friends I didn't like you, and if I saw you, I might have words with you, and maybe that would lead to something. Where now, I go on your page and on your Facebook page or whatever else, and start calling you names and calling you this, and so a lot of these, quote-unquote beefs a lot of times are carried out or furthered on social media, and so it's so not only am I now making fun of you or talking about you, and everybody now can see it as well, and so it gets overplayed. So it's just, there's a lot of variables going into it, but I can tell you the people who were not having involved in this a lot are, staying in school, getting involved with, activities, whether it's after-school activities, whether it's sports, whether it's what have you, and continue to have, parents that are involved and making sure they know where their kids are at. It's, 1 in the morning if they're not working and they're 20 years old. What are they doing? How are they getting their money? So there's a lot of things that go on, but it's been busy. It's been busy, and we're going to continue working on it. But gangs we do have gangs in Elgin. I think that's no surprise to anybody. We do have gang members, so we are going to have these types of flares from time to time. We'll try and catch them as quick as we can.
In the release, Deputy Chief Wolf had mentioned that like to what you said, it may seem like there's been a rash of reports of these shootings, but there have been 13 confirmed shots fired reports so far this year. He'd said, and that's the same amount as at this time last year. So sometimes short-sighted or short memory. It seems like more, or it seems maybe more prevalent, more being talked about. A year ago, your Facebook page for the Elgin Police Department, your Twitter account may not have been as followed, or different information given out. So it all depends on how it's reported, I guess. A lot of times.
And there's a lot to be said with that. And these are still obviously troubling, and we're going to continue working through them. So we never say, oh, it's the same as last year, as if so everything is okay. But at the same time, it gives perspective. And to give you more perspective, we ran the numbers and went back, I think, 20 years or something. And in the, I think it was early 90s, I know I was a brand new officer, but I want to say we had 85 gang-related shots fired, shooting type scenarios in the entire year. And a few years going back, we were just talking off air, I think we had 9 a few years ago, and this is 13 so far year to date, almost through May. So it's still, it's not what it was. People think, and again, it's social media, so people sometimes try to talk, but we'll get things forwarded to us. Is this true? And we heard people are, whatever on social media, and we say, if you want the truth, follow our page. We'll give you the things. Go to crimereports.com. It's all out there. And we'll continue investigating it. We've got some very good officers who are working on all these cases, but at the end of the day, what's really going to help is the people before something happens, making sure that they're involved with their community, they're involved with Neighborhood Watch. If there's an issue with their house next door, make sure they're calling us, telling us what's going on, and we can start correcting some of these things as hopefully before they turn into this.
Speaking of involved, there was an incident from last, I believe it was over the weekend, where a call came in from a citizen that saw someone walking through a yard, I guess, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and you were able to apprehend that person. Brett Ledbetter, an 18-year-old man from Elgin, and was breaking into cars. And you were able to make an arrest on that. So, to your point, right, and being involved.
It's everything. I mean, it's a very small percentage of people that are out there that are committing these crimes, whether it's gang crime, whether it's the burglaries, whether it's the robberies. And if the rest of us all have our porch lights on or motion lights in our backyards, or if we see something, and that's what happened with this, is someone saw them cutting through some backyards and called us. And the officers of the midnight shift were able to cordon off the area and catch them, and with the proceeds from the cars. A couple things popped out. I want to say one of the cars was unlocked, and so we're just reminding people, if you just lock them, that can prevent a lot. But definitely, if you're looking around and you see somebody walking in front of your house and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, or absolutely if they're in your backyard cutting through, those are the calls we need. We need to know who's going out. There's no reason somebody should be cutting through your backyard at 2 o'clock in the morning. And if there is a good reason, that's for the police to find the person and ask them, why are you cutting through these backyards? Some people do go for walks down the sidewalk at 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's perfectly fine. And the officers many times will just roll up, say hello, and that's enough. If the person was thinking about doing something, it can prevent it. And secondly, if it is a person who's just out for a stroll, they feel much better knowing, wow, the police just drove by and said hello to me, so they feel safer. So it's a win-win. So getting involved, calling us when something's going on. But yeah, we're making some great arrests on these burglaries, and but there are a lot that are still occurring. In fact, one of the crimes I saw that we are still up very high, especially compared to last year, were burglary motor vehicles. Burglaries overall were down, I think, for the first quarter, but burglary motor vehicles were up significantly. And so we all need to remain vigilant on that.
If you like it, lock it.
If you like it, lock it.
Somebody in the studio, I think, coined that.
That's right. I think light it up, lock it, let us know. Remember the 3 L's going back?
Another way to get involved is to come out to one of the many things that you guys put on, and put yourselves out there, and people can ask more direct questions. Of course, they're always welcome to call in here.
Yeah.
But you guys do the Coffee with a Cop. There's the walk-in talks where you partner with the mayor, and I think you're going to be transitioning a little bit from the inside coffee with a cup to more the outdoor stuff, right? Because the season's a little bit nicer now.
Yeah, we do. We started our first one. Lieutenant Young yesterday or 2 days ago now did a. We call them the walk-in or walk-in talks, and those are the ones we hit a neighborhood, and we try to look to see what's going on in that neighborhood beforehand, and if there's an increase in some type of calls for service or anything. But sometimes we just pick a random neighborhood and we go and we walk the streets, knock on the doors, see what's going on, talk to the residents, anything we can help you with, anything you're having issues with.
Do you differ the times of when the walk-in talks take place, or the days of the week, so that you hit different people at different times?
Yeah, and that's part of the. We do know that during the daytime we're going to get some people, especially if they work nighttime hours or evening hours. So the day shift one with Lieutenant Young did it in the morning, and you do knock on a lot of doors and nobody's home. They're at work and that type of thing. So we do miss some people. But then other people who are working that afternoon shift hour from 2 to 10, which is when a lot of ours occur, because we try to do them around 5, 6, 7 o'clock. We miss them who are working second shift. So we mix it up, we move it around, and we had the coffee with a cop down at Clock Tower Dunkin' Donuts early in the week. We had a nice turnout again, and Commander Lally has been really spearheading those, and we had a couple of officers there that was very nice to see, and then some community members. And I can tell you that the feedback from that, and then we also had that the neighborhood session at
Sergeant Hartman.
That Sergeant Hartman's neighborhood. Myself, Anna Moeller, and Officer Hartman were there, and we were a panel talking about the different things going on. And the feedback routinely is just that people are very impressed and thankful for the work that the Elgin Police Department's doing. And one of the things that I will always ask, that's great and we appreciate it, but we know we can always get better. So is there anything else that you don't think we're doing or that we can do a better job on? And we get some of that information, but generally speaking, and whether it's a coffee with a cop, a walk and talk, people are involved. They're liking what we're doing with social media, getting the information out there. Some are never happy, we're not getting enough out there, but I'll put what we're putting out there, and as often as we're on social media and the things we do in the neighborhoods and this radio show and the local cable access, I'll put that up against any other police department as far as our connection to the community. And so we're out there. If people want to get involved, there are plenty of opportunities, but it's going to be kicking off here with Memorial Day weekend, and it's kind of the official start of summer. So if you're not involved with the Elgin Police Department, please get involved. I know Citizens Police Academy alumni, or Citizens Police Academy for the senior citizens is starting up next week with Sherry Aschenbrenner, so we've got a full house with that. So just a lot of great opportunities to get involved with the police department. And then lastly, the monthly meeting. We just had it last week, and we always get a nice turnout from the from people for the just coming in and chatting what's going on, what's happening with these shootings, what's going on with the street light over here, the walk signal doesn't last long enough, just any little thing that's going on in their neighborhood, they have an opportunity to tell us, and we get it to the proper channels, and we can get it fixed for you.
This weekend you've got some events. You've also got the Cop on Top next Friday, so that would be kind of during this show that is going on. Maybe talk about that a little bit and what you're supporting there.
Yeah, it's for Special Olympics, so it's we're doing it here. Linda Hagman from the State's Attorney's Office coordinates it for Kane County, and I think she said, I shouldn't say I think she said, because I don't even remember the number, but it's 20, 40, I don't know, different Dunkin' Donuts that are going to be out there, and police officers on top, and just raising awareness and trying to raise funds for Special Olympics. And Tom Bullock, one of our officers, and again Commander Lally are really kind of spearheading it for the Elgin Police Department. And we'll be over at 95 Clock Tower over here, and we'll be on the roof, I think, starting at early, 5, 6 o'clock, and then I usually do this show, encourage people to go down there, and then go down right afterwards, and I think we go until usually probably 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And it's just, again, people on their way to work, helping out kids and adults who are in Special Olympics, and it's a great event. And I'm actually, my wife Laura and I are heading down to I think it's Bloomington for the actual awards ceremony this year. So we're going to go and see it, and everything I've heard about it, it's a great event. And so we're going to be going down there and supporting Special Olympics down there this year. So next week we'll be on the roof of, hopefully the weather's like it is today.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So we'll see.
Got some road closures tomorrow, right?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to have some soft closures. I think, I think everything kind of going on around between like 6 and 7, we're going to be the race. So first of all, Foxtrot's coming up, and then the walk. So it looks like, checking out my notes here, the soft close at 6:45, and then shutting down the streets at 7 o'clock in the morning for the 7:30 race. So if you have to come down Elgin for something, if you're running in the race, get here early so you can get here parked and all that. Or if it's nice out, maybe a lot of people can ride their bikes. But otherwise, if you're coming down to Elgin for something else, there are going to be some detours, at least in the morning time for a lot of stuff going on.
And then Monday with the Memorial Day event out at Bluff City Cemetery. You guys will be out there as well.
Yeah, busy day as well because I know it starts. I think I think Mount Hope. So there's going to be something early, then at Veterans. At the Veterans Memorial, we'll have another ceremony. And you've got the time, Derek. You do all that, and then
the first one starts at 8:45. It was 8:45 for Mount Hope, then 9:15 for Lakewood, 9:45 for the Veterans Memorial Park, and then 11 for the Bluff City.
Always
great event.
Exactly. Very touching event with what's going on, and just remembering those who allow us to live this kind of life that we have. And so just a nice thank you, and it's always a great turnout. They have the student reading the I think it's called Logan's Orders and the different addresses that they give during the Bluff City Cemetery event, and it's just very somber but very touching. And this is one of my favorite weekends I know around here. So Memorial Day weekend's just a very nice time. So hopefully we'll see a lot of people out and about.
Jeff, I want to thank you for coming in. Elgin's Chief of Police, Jeff Swoboda here in WRMN. And everybody have a safe weekend. Enjoy, and please, as I said earlier, and it's not coming up until Monday, but not just you, but everybody. This isn't directed at you, but just keep in mind and in your heart what this weekend is about.
Absolutely.
And it's not a weekend of barbecue. It's not a weekend of an extra day off of work. This is to celebrate the men and women who gave their lives for our country.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Have a great weekend.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have a nice, safe weekend, everyone, and we'll see you guys next Friday.
You're listening to AM 1410, WRMN.
In Elgin.